Good afternoon and welcome to Quays News. We start today's programme with your new president for Salford University, Marina Hristova.
Last Thursday, Marina competed against 26 other candidates in the student election to become the new sabbatical officer.
So Marina, welcome. And
congratulations.
Congratulations, yeah, definitely. Marina, so how was the feeling when they called your name out at the Atmosphere Bar?
I felt really excited. I mean, words cannot describe how you feel at such kind of moment, but yeah, it was great.
Any celebrations?
Well, what do you mean by celebrations after a week of campaigning? You just need to rest, so I just
put your feet up and rested for a bit.
I just needed to catch up with sleep and
very sensible.
Yeah.
Marina, I want to get straight down to the point and ask you the question. The fact that there was only 10 to 15% of Salford University students who actually voted. What we want to find out today is, whilst you're in charge as president, what are you really going to do to ensure that those figures are boosted up?
Well, I just would like to say that the Students' Union has put lots of effort to make sure that as many students could vote, not only this year but previous years as well, and I'm sure that the Students' Union will continue doing that for the future as well. As you said, not that many students voted. From 17 or 18,000, only 2,500 have voted, which is good, but it's not that good as well. So I would like to speak to more and more students just from September maybe about elections, what are elections about, and that I just would like for them to make sure that their voice is really important, their vote is really important. It's free of charge as well. I think what stops sometimes students from voting is the whole system. Sometimes it's just not working properly, and it really makes students just not want to continue doing that.
Is that stereotype of lazy students coming back?
Well, yeah, sometimes students are saying that they just don't care and they can't be bothered, but actually this is your university, so you have to vote, because if you would like your views to be represented in the right way, you have to choose the right person and you have to vote for the right person.
Definitely.
So,
Marina, very quickly, what is the main kind of thing that you have on your manifesto that you really want to implement when you become in charge in July?
Yeah, there are a few actually. I would like to work more closely with societies, so they could gain more and more employability skills, but I would like also to improve the facilities on campus.
Thank you.
So yeah.
That's brilliant. Marina, very good luck to you when you start.
Thank you.
Now, in other student news, Salford University's netball team painted the town pink last night for their charity evening, raising money for breast cancer organisations. Our reporter Kemi Obeson went to Atmosphere to find out more.
The University Netball Club ladies joined forces to put on a charity event at the Student Union. The aim was to raise money for breast cancer awareness and to help support women going through cancer treatment. The event, titled On Wednesdays We Wear Pink, took place at the Atmosphere Bar. In order to publicise the event, the ladies decided to pose nude for the posters.
So far, I think they've put enough effort in. It's really, they're all like enthusiastic about it, so it's really like they really planned it well.
I don't feel it was over-sexualised. I feel like some of the photos looked interesting. I don't know how to describe it. Like there was somewhere you could see that they were photoshopped slightly.
Yeah, because if you're promoting like breast cancer research, then you need to be more natural about it.
It's meant to turn for attention and go, whoa, am I okay with this? Shocking. But you know what? We're students. If you're not about expressing your opinions and doing stuff like this and being an individual whilst you're a student, then when are you going to do it?
The gamble paid off. The flesh was bared, the people came, they drank, and more awareness was given to cancer. University Netball Club 1, Salford Feminist Society 0. Kemi Obeson, Quays TV News.
We are joined by Andy Riley to have a look at today's papers.
Yeah, Andy, thank you very much for joining us today. So let's start off with the MEN, shall we?
Yeah, it turns out that Greater Manchester Police may have known about Cyril Smith and what he was up to back in the late 80s.
Right.
You can see there have been a few months' worth of fallout for our local police force on the back of that one.
And they've covered that story pretty deeply this morning.
They have gone into it. They haven't named the officer concerned for obvious reasons, but yeah, that's one that's going to run and run, I think.
Righty, so we move on to The Sun, probably one of my favourite papers of today. Look at him, he's obviously depicting that Dave from a very famous advert, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I've got a feeling that he'll end up with that Photoshop on his wall, framed, pride of place. But you know, all the papers are giving very different spins on the budget yesterday. The Sun saying it's a fantastic budget, you know, end of tax on savings.
He's looking very sassy, isn't he?
He is looking very hot.
Working it.
Yeah.
Working it.
Moving on to the Mirror, who've got the kind of opposite spectrum of what the Sun have got. Still talking about the budget, but talking about an opposite.
They're saying that, you know, the cuts are going to go on if the Conservatives get into power in May. All our public services, from the NHS through to the police, the armed forces, there's more cuts coming, and it's still, you know, there's still a lot to do.
And talking about the Metro now, they've obviously got part of it talking about the budget, but the other half of the paper, they're talking about the attacks in Tunisia. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, some breaking news just before we came on air today. There have been 4 arrests in Tunisia of people suspected of being involved. And it's such a shame that the country that was the hub of the Arab Spring a few years back is still subject to these sort of attacks. It's somewhere I've visited. I've got friends from there. It's a beautiful country.
How important is the fact that this is, you know, on the front of the pages and no other pages really gone with it?
I think it's a brave decision by the Metro to put that on. I mean, when you've got 400,000 Brits visiting there every year, to actually go with that ahead of the budget as your lead story on a paper that's given away free, basically across the country, I think is a very brave decision, and rightly so.
Andy, and 22 have died in this terrorist attack. You say 4 have been arrested. Do we know who or where they are from?
We don't know who or what at the moment. It was breaking just as we came on air. But there have been 4 arrests, and sadly 1 Brit is
Andy,
among the dead.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now we move on to the latest sport with Joey. Joey, Manchester City tried but failed last night.
They did, and City's defeat to Barca yesterday means we actually have no more English teams left in this year's Champions League, but what can you do, eh? Further down the footballing ladder, FC United of Manchester moved 7 points clear at the top of their league with a win over Workington on Tuesday. This goal from Lewis Lacey was enough to see the Reds through as they continue their charge. Elsewhere on Tuesday, Altrincham slipped to a defeat at Dover and Mossley won 2-0 at home to Spennymoor. Going into the weekend, a number of our teams are looking to boost their promotion credentials. Macclesfield host Nuneaton in the Conference North, Stockport are at home to Chorley. In the Northern Premier, FC United travel to Stamford, and in the First Division North, Salford travel to Ossett Town. That's all the sport. Join us on Tuesday for the latest results from those games and more from Greater Manchester.
The Birthrights collection at the University of Salford has been on display from the 14th of March and will end this weekend. The unusual display celebrates the first and only collection of contemporary artwork dedicated to the subject of childbirth.
All shortlisted works that features in the Birthrights collection hold a biannual award for new or existing artwork in any medium dealing with the subject of childbirth. Following a ceremony that happened last week, all the work has been displayed at a public exhibition on the university's big screen at Media City UK.
The Lowry at Salford Quays has been selected as the most visited place in Manchester.
We go to Kate Troy, who's outside the Lowry Theatre with more.
The Lowry here at Media City takes a top spot in the most visited Greater Manchester attractions, seeing off other popular visited places such as the Manchester Art Gallery and the National Football Museum. It's situated here at Salford Quays, and with the most popular exhibition ever, here's one we made earlier, still bringing in lots of crowds, the Lowry hopes to maintain its #1 position.
David Barker is here to review the film X and Y. David, tell me about the film.
So X plus Y sees a boy who's been diagnosed with autism, so he's struggling with that. And it's unfortunately in a car accident at the start of the film he loses his dad, and he was sort of his main person who sort of helped him sort of deal with it, so he sort of struggled through life quite a bit, but numbers are very much his escape, and sort of through Rafe Spall's sort of maths teacher, he discovers maths and eventually trains up to go to the International Maths Olympiad and goes over to Taiwan, so it's a sort of exploration of numbers, and over there he meets his first love, so it's sort of chromosomes as well.
Oh, lovely. So the title X and Y, tell me about that. What does it mean?
X plus Y, it's quite a clever title really, because X plus Y is sort of X and Y are sort of common algebra sort of numbers, so it's got that sort of math side, but X and Y are also sort of chromosomes.
Exactly.
So it covers that sort of love and romance side of it as well, so it's quite a broad, clever title, I think.
Now, the lead actor, Asa Butterfield, I loved him in Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. What's his acting like in this film now that he's a bit more grown up?
Yeah, I mean, he's sort of teenager, so he's not sort of quite grown up yet, but it's he does a good performance. I mean, autism can be sort of quite a difficult thing to portray, especially sort of in the teens, so I think he does a good job there. He's definitely a worthwhile performance again from him.
Lovely. So do you think he'll do more films in the future? Do you think it was...
Yeah, I can see him. I mean, it's another lead role. He's obviously one of the child stars that's rising at the moment. So, there's some good parts for him. I can see him carrying on doing that.
Now, final question. What would you give it out of 5? 5 stars?
It's 3 for me. It does some things well, but I think there's more it could have done and more to develop. But it's a decent and entertaining film.
Okay. Thanks a lot, David. Now, let's find out what the weather will be doing this week with Kimberly Harrison as we take a look at the forecast.
Good afternoon, and what a beautiful afternoon it is. Today is expected to be dry with clear blue skies throughout. Temperatures will hit 10 degrees with a very slight cooling breeze in the air. As we look forward to the solar eclipse tomorrow, there'll be unfortunate change in the weather as clouds from the northwest will slowly start to push through. But until then, get outside and enjoy the warm weather in sunny Salford.
Tomorrow, Manchester will be in looming darkness as we encounter the first solar eclipse in over 16 years. This happens when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, hiding the sun from the view and blocking out the sunlight that usually reaches us.
Manchester scientists believe that the solar eclipse will be visible at around 9:30 in the morning and have advised selfie lovers not to take snaps of themselves against the eclipse. Experts say the instinct to look back into the sun while lining up the selfie could leave people with permanent eye damage. I know that's going to affect you a lot. You were dying to take a selfie, weren't you?
I definitely was. I definitely want to go out tomorrow morning and take a selfie. I actually thought it was today, so I was looking at the sun, I was thinking...
That would have been awkward.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, we spoke to people around Media City to see what the big deal is actually really about.
Well, I've never seen a solar eclipse before. I've heard a lot about them, so
and where will you be watching it from?
Probably from my garden.
Definitely, without doubt. I think it's the first time we've had a solar eclipse in over a decade now, so I'm hoping that we can stop the school day and find a safe way of some way of viewing the solar eclipse, so we'll make devices like to screen our eyes, etc.
I doubt it. I take the view that there's a sun up there now in the sky and I can look at it at any time. I don't really see why I should look at the sun when it isn't visible, because it isn't visible at midnight and I don't look at the sun, so why should I look at the sun tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. In the school that I'm a science teacher in, we'll be doing a live broadcast of it, so all the pupils will be watching together in the assembly hall, because obviously it doesn't happen a lot, and I think this one's a 90% eclipse, so it's quite a rare event for them to all view, and it'll be really interesting.
We'd love to see your pictures of the eclipse, but remember, stay safe, no selfies. You can join in the conversation on Twitter at Quays News and our Facebook page.
I really do hope we get some nice pictures, so please post them at the Quays News Twitter page. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today, but please don't forget to head over to our website, quaysnews.net, for more of the latest news.
The team at Friday First are on air at 1:30 tomorrow for a roundup of the best of Quays.
Thank you very much and goodbye.
Goodbye.